we shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Angel Reese stepped into the spotlight like it was crafted just for her, only to realize the lights were already fading. Now the crowd had left early and the crew was packing up. The twist? She truly believed she could recreate Caitlin Clark's magic, not through skill or genuine appeal, but by lingering close enough to catch the glow. As if simply standing near greatness was equal to earning it. Drop a comment below, baby goat or baby giraffe. If you're riding with CC, let's go.
Angel Me-Bound Prayer Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's grand debut, her moment to shine and finally step out of Caitlin Clark's shadow. Or at least that's what she told herself. She was set to launch her Reebok signature shoe, unveil the I'm in Your City marketing campaign, turn Indianapolis Clark's home turf into her personal playground. On paper, it all seemed flawless. But reality delivered a cold truth. You can't manufacture charisma, and you definitely can't build a brand by orbiting someone else's star.
Here, everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here it gives you the power of the Me-Bound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it? No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound! Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money. Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang! I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yes, she did it again. Rebound!
So, let's address the sneaker in the room. Angel Reese's new Reebok release, dubbed the Angel Reese 1. It launched in 2 colorways: diamond. Dust and Me-Bound Zen was hyped as the future of women's basketball footwear. Reebok went all in, flooding the all-star festivities with ads and timing the Me-Bound's release for maximum exposure. Unfortunately for them, exposure doesn't always translate to excitement, especially when your timing backfires spectacularly.
Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch.
The heart of Reese's strategy rested on one crucial land, deeply flawed assumption: that Caitlin Clark's all-star appearance would guarantee massive viewership, which would then translate into big sales. She didn't attempt to captivate fans through her own merit. Instead, she bet everything on the belief that merely sharing the court, simply existing in Clark's orbit, would elevate her. It wasn't about outshining Clark, or even competing. It was about riding the coattails of someone who already commands the room.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most.
But fate had other plans. Clark suffered a groin injury just before the All-Star break and was sidelined, forced to watch from the bench in street clothes. And with her absence, the WNBA lost the one thing it couldn't afford to lose: its top draw. Caitlin Clark is the kind of player who can turn a midweek game in the middle of nowhere into a national event. Without her on the floor, the excitement evaporated.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
And the numbers were brutal. When Clark played in the 2024 All-Star Game, T smashed records with 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment. Fast forward to 2025, with Clark sitting out and ratings nosedived too. 2.19 million. That's a staggering 36% drop in viewership. And it all happened in Indianapolis Clark's own backyard. An event tailor-made to capitalize on her presence completely unraveled the moment she couldn't play.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
Reese had to watch her entire campaign unravel before her eyes, nearly half its value gone. Not even scalpers could salvage it. Fans weren't lining up to see an all-star event without the only star they truly cared about.
But the WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
And nothing summed up the misstep quite like Reese's tone-deaf "I'm in your city" campaign. The premise was bold, borderline arrogant. She rolled it out across Indianapolis, as if declaring territorial conquest in someone else's kingdom. But here's the catch. Clark wasn't even suiting up. She couldn't defend her city because she was injured. It didn't make Reese look bold. It made her look like someone trying to hijack a crown while the real queen was temporarily off the throne.
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend Edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang! Her loyal fans showed out in Indy, all 4 of them, and somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. Bang! What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star Game? You're telling me you have a social life? What? What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets people going. Butter pecan! Bang!
The campaign was everywhere: billboards, digital ads, slick videos, and flashy captions, screaming dominance. Reese even posted Instagram reels with the caption, "I'm in your city," and used phrases like, "walk in your trap," "take over your trap." It was a full-on takeover attempt, just without any actual resistance to overcome.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as me-bounds, rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the...
And fans weren't fooled, not even a little. Social media lit up with criticism. One person tweeted, "She can't even sell her shoe without piggybacking off Caitlin Clark." Another joked, "More photographers than fans at this launch." Lol, the whole thing came off like someone celebrating a forfeit, as if it were a fair fight. Trying to claim a victory over someone who wasn't even competing doesn't make you a winner. It just makes you look desperate.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars.
All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be.
Let's take a step back and really lay this out. Angel Reese had everything teed up for success during All-Star Weekend. She was in Indianapolis, the supposed queen of the moment. Her very own Reebok signature shoe was launching. The city was blanketed with her billboards. Her social media team was firing on all cylinders. The marketing machine was working overtime. And yet, crickets. No buzz, no real excitement.
And sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship. Well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is?
The WNBA even tried to spin the aftermath with a slick PR move, comparing the 2025 All-Star viewership to the 2023 number of 850,000 as a win, while conveniently skipping over the elephant-sized number from 2024 when Caitlin Clark was the star of the show. But everyone saw through that smokescreen. What they were really saying was, without Clark, they were back to being niche, back to pre-relevance levels of interest. And if you needed further proof, just look at the Friday night events, the three-point contest, and the skills challenge. Pulled in 1.32 million viewers, nearly double the prior year. But let's be real, those weren't Angel Reese fans tuning in. That was still the Caitlin Clark aftershock. People tuned in, hoping to catch a glimpse of the player who changed everything.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel Reese, last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious CC with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do.
The real problem for Angel Reese wasn't just bad timing, it was a failure to understand how star power actually works. She looked at what Caitlin Clark had sold out shoes, a blockbuster Nike deal, endless headlines, and thought, I can do that too. She saw Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro drops sell out in under 60 seconds, with resale prices soaring past $600 for a shoe that retailed at $190, and assumed she could replicate that demand. But here's what she didn't grasp. Caitlin Clark's brand isn't about logos and gimmicks, it's about earned loyalty. Her fans don't show up because of ad campaigns, they show up because they believe in her. Clark built that trust with years of elite play, authentic interviews, clutch moments, and pure passion for the game. So when Nike handed her that $28 million contract, it wasn't just a paycheck, it was an investment in a once-in-a-generation figure. Experts believe her eventual signature shoe, expected in 2026, could generate over $100 to $150 million in revenue. And that projection isn't based on wishful thinking, it's grounded in real data. Packed arenas, top-tier ratings, and a player-to-fan connection that's stronger than ever. Now, compare that with Reese's Reebok release during All-Star Weekend. The reception was muted at best. Her Angel Reese one dropped with all the flair Reebok could muster, but the excitement just wasn't there. The public barely blinked, and the rollout didn't feel bold. It felt needy.
One of his genius decisions was this. Signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here. That is